Have you ever wondered how everyone always has an easy access to electricity, heating, cooling, and gas? Well, this is not an easy task. The population has exceeded 7 billion and is showing no sign of slowing down. This means a constant source of natural gas is needed to keep all of these everyday luxuries possible. To keep up with the large demand for natural gas, energy companies have resorted to a process called fracking. Fracking is a drilling technique that drills hundreds of feet into the ground. It goes across the landscape horizontally through shale deposits to make cracks or openings. Then a water solution with chemicals is pumped through the holes at a high velocity to allow the natural gas to flow through the cracks. The process of horizontal fracturing may seem like a simple solution due to large yields, but there are many more complications that get overlooked, such as environmental effects, water contamination, and poor drill locations. According to studies done by CNBC Associates, fracking of shale is current in 25% of the gas production today and is predicted to reach nearly 50% in the next 20 years. This makes it a relevant issue to almost all of society. The first thing we will discuss about fracking is the environmental effects. The environmental effects that are linked to fracking are very serious and should be taken into consideration when it comes to opening up more drill sites. One of the main causes for environmental issues are the errors on site. In January 2012, an equipment failure from a fracking site in Susquehanna County led to a spill of several thousand gallons of fracking fluid leaking for half an hour. The fluid released in spills like these are the reason for environmental issues. Many people have no clue what is in the fluid. But Dr. Steingraber, a biologist from Ithaca College, has done research exploring the many side effects of this fluid's chemicals on humans and other organisms. It has been proven that some of the chemicals used can lead to neurological, asthma, and pregnancy problems. Energy companies have been careless with the disposal of this deadly fluid. The main method involves putting the runoff into open-aired pits. This method is inefficient because the waste seeps through the ground and ends up contaminating the environment. Another main issue fracking has on the environment is methane emissions. Don Bishop has discovered that these methane emissions from fracking degrade our air and ozone, also harming our aquatic and ecosystems. Along with these environmental issues, another huge problem linked to fracking is groundwater contamination. Groundwater has always been a readily available source, but now with fracking wells being implemented, this could change in the next few decades. All of the water that gets left in the drill hole, along with any mistakes by the company, are the reasons our water is getting contaminated. If the companies would be more careful with their methods and take the time and effort to send their fracking fluid to a filtration plant, the cases of water contamination would be reduced greatly. Fluid is the main issue because it takes 3 to 5 million gallons of fluid per well to complete the fracking process. And of the 3 to 5 million gallons, only about 20 to 30% of the fluid gets resurfaced. There have been recorded cases of residents near fracking sites actually lighting the water from their faucet and having it catch on fire. It could be very lethal for a person to consume water in this condition. Neil Shatter states, fracking fluid can poison streams or rivers near drill sites unless flowback is properly dealt with. The man-made pits where they store the fracking fluid is not working out and leads to seepage and spills directly into the environment. Another main factor that makes fracking dangerous is the locations of the drill sites. Fracking has been popping up in many locations and will eventually be forced to move to unwanted locations such as parks and neighborhoods. Fracking has been utilized as a major source of extracting natural gas and is used in 90% of the wells drilled today. In recent years, energy companies have been careless with the places they have been drilling because they just care about getting as much natural gas as they possibly can. This leads to them being neglectful to the environments they are actually fracking. A representative from American River stated, "We also believe particularly sensitive places should remain off limits to energy companies to our highest quality clean waters. Without people monitoring safeguards for drilling locations, fracking companies have the potential to affect millions of people's lives due to water contamination from irresponsibly placed fracking wells. Fracking has the potential to break our environment apart along with harming our people. Even though this is an easy method for getting a consistent source of much needed natural gas, the dirty side effects on the environment and people make it very controversial. Fracking is a highly debated method for extracting natural gas. There are both pros and cons, but the environmental effects, water contamination, and locations drilled make it a risky business. Hopefully, someday engineers will be able to refine the method, or even make a new one that is more efficient and has less drawbacks than fracking.